Since we're making red wines like Barolo, like Barbera, we want to embrace the young people, the young drinkers, with modernity. Chapeau to the big producer of Barolo. Without them, we would not be here. I want a bottle of Barolo in a 25 years old guy at home on his table, not just the 60, 70 years old. Not only the Germans. The Germans were very important for us here. They were the only one drinking Barolo. Now, with a different approach, different concept, we want to be more sensitive, and we want to welcome also the young drinkers, because the young drinkers are drinking alcohol just to start to drink good alcohol.
Sit back and grab a glass. It's Wine Talks with Paul K.
Hey, welcome to Wine Talks with Paul K. We are at an away game way up in the what do you call it? The Asti Mountains? What do they call it?
We're actually in the Asti district. Mountains are not that far from here. Yeah.
Okay. I'm all amped up, like I'm fired up, like talking too fast, no? We're here to speak to Emiliano Morando.
I know it's not easy.
At Pico Maccario. It's fascinating difference between today's... Wow. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Let's rise out the glass.
You have to say.
Thank you, everybody.
I kind of wanted to start this idea, and thank you for having us, because we saw a winery yesterday that was so old school, and the Master of Wine program out of London just dropped the nomenclature Old World versus New World. But I don't think in this group right here anybody would doubt that the difference between what they saw today and what they saw yesterday are two different worlds of winemaking. Is that the philosophy of Pico Maccario?
Well, yeah, it's been our philosophy since the early days. 3 generation and the Barbera and Nebbiolo production here in Piedmont. And again, Paul, thank you, folks. Thank you to be here today in Piedmont, in Monbaruzzo. Our philosophy has always been keeping tradition, but with a touch of modernity. Not too much. And that's why we're back to traditional way of winemaking. The use of the oak, it's very well, it's conscious. We're conscious that too much oak is too much. So a lot of stainless steel, a lot of big barrel instead of big French oak. We don't want our wines to be mainstream wines as they used to be, some of ours as well, back in the old days. Well,
you mentioned that you were growing Chardonnay, and I find this fascinating. Oh, wow. Damn it. Fascinating. That's a really interesting point, because the academics in the wine world have said, look, we're not going to use that term anymore. It doesn't mean anything. But traditionally it would mean not only old world location, like where you make your wine, but also refers to a character, and that you'll see the difference in the character of these wines compared to what we've tasted so far. Correct. And these are more modern and younger feeling. And is that consumerism that we're going after?
Well, the consumers has been changing dramatically in a good way in terms of education. We were talking about before in the cellar, back in the 80s and 90s, not just the American market, but the worldwide market was actually looking for wines with wood, because acidity and tannins are the two big preservative for wines, and both are not good at the first hit. When it's too acid, it's too acid. I don't like it. When it's too tannic, is too tannic. I don't like it. The only way is to cover with wood. That's what happened in the 80s and 90s. Why? Because people were not willing to wait the right time to open the bottle. Acidity, you need some months in the bottle. Tannins, same thing. They're just two different preservatives. Now with the education process, the use of the oak has been reduced a lot. And we're back to fruity, balsamic, when that's the early stage, the wine. And then all the spices when it's 5-6 years old in the bottle. So a market like the US that is huge has been tremendously educated by people like you, Paul. Drinking at the right time. Yeah, but big guru, I would say. But even with local people like you, that you have your fan around California, around LA, to drink the bottle at the right time, not just crack the bottle and drink it. There's a lot of wines made for that. That's not Piedmont. That's not Burgundy. That's not Italy, I would say.
But it's so interesting, because you guys are reacting to consumerism, which can change tomorrow. But you have to plan, like, for instance, you have to buy 1 million bottles because It takes 3 years to get an order in.
To get it, yeah.
You have to kind of figure out what's going to happen next. And that's really hard to do, to understand.
That's what a conversation we had just a few minutes before. Being a producer is being an entrepreneur today. It's extremely risky. So I worked for the Maccario family in the past 10 years, and we talk about this every day with Vitaliano, with Pico, the two owners. It's a risky job. There's no doubt. You need to be prepared. You need to have a good back, as we say here in Italy, buone spalle. So, otherwise, there's a natural selection going on right now, especially today, where we're not looking to make more bottles as we used to think about it 20 years ago. We're actually looking to make less bottle because Mother Nature is not giving enough bottle. So, better bottle, better quality, and extremely risky because the costs are the same every year. And Mother Nature is giving us the bill back, you know.
But I think that's the general trend is drinking better. COVID certainly produced people of drinking better wines and spending more money. Now, it could have been because disposable income was more available, but
right.
It did pull through where they're not drinking as much, but drinking better.
Absolutely. The COVID was a turning point for all of us. Producing better, having more time to sit down and think about what to do. The market was really changing. It was the year zero, 2020, for everybody else in the industry.
That's a good point. Hey, listen to Reed Canet. He's a winemaker up in Sonoma, up and coming star of the winemaking business. Just launched his episode, amazing philosophical approach to winemaking. And Andrea McCrae, is part of the African American Vineyards Association up in Napa Valley, just hosted an amazing event that I attended. It was incredible. Not why we're here. So this Arnés we're drinking.
Yeah.
Rorero. Is it Rorero?
Lange, because our Arnés vineyards are in Neve, the hometown of Barbaresco, of our Nebbiolo. We have a very few rows. Here is a good point. Think about this. We make 3,000 bottles of this. It's ridiculous. 3,000 bottles. Cases. Exactly. Why? Because we got few rows in the vineyards, few rows of Arnés in the Barbaresco vineyards, and instead of selling the grapes, especially today, it's just very expensive Arnés because it's been hit by the hail in the past few vintages. Instead of just selling and get some good money in our pocket, we dedicated a harvest. We allocated a tank for it. Stainless steel only for what 3,000 bottles. But I mean, I'm happy to have this bottle here in Asti, to have it in New York, to have it in Seoul, in Bangkok. I mean, even if it's one bottle, fine. It's not the most representative wine for us, but it's a niche production that for us it's important.
But you guys can see this brightness of this wine compared to yesterday's, right?
Yeah.
More citrus.
Yeah.
It's cleaner tasting and feeling.
Tastes cleaner.
And that's the methodologies that we're just talking about.
Easy
Well,
to drink.
one of the character of Pico Maccario is straightforward, clean, fruity. It has to be fruit. Tannin, if there's tannin, not covered by wood. Very straightforward. That's what we like to be very clean and very precise. Since the winery.
That's the overriding philosophy from the beginning. I mean, that's risky that many years ago because we were still drinking over-oaked Chardonnay in California.
That's true. It's something that we can do now after 35 years in the markets. At the beginning, we were trying to please everybody. That's true. So if it was the American market, we were trying to be sweeter in a way, a little bit of oak. We're talking about the early 90s. But then let's say we found our character. We found our place in the wine business, and no more compromise. Let's put it in this way. No more.
How's the
compromise.
guy from St. Louis? Was it St. Louis?
It was a St. Louis.
How does the guy from St. Louis end up in Asti?
No, I was born and raised here, and I moved to the Nordic country for a while, and then I had a chance at the end of the 2000s, actually 2008. That was the time I met Barack Obama at the Hilton in New York,
Whoa.
in Chicago, and we
And
barely
that changed
knew.
your career.
It was a senator at that time, so completely unknown to me, Italian when I'm there. Anyway, I moved from Chicago into St. Louis, working for a small import company based in St. Louis, Lafayette Square, actually.
Wow.
Since then, think about the U.S., even in the Midwest, the food scene has changed dramatically. Before it was just California, New York, Miami, with great Italian food. That time in St. Louis, food was horrible. The food scene was horrible. I came back a few years ago, and some of the best sommeliers are back in the Midwest.
Really?
Opening new places, great food scene. Well, again, the United States changed from the province. That's the good thing.
That's an interesting point you just made.
Nebraska,
I always wondered,
Iowa, great. Some of the best bottles. I
Italian
had
comes to this Midwest, no less. Maybe the East and West Coast is a little better. But I always think, like, what if a French person comes to Starbucks and buys a croissant, right? It's
they
gotta
go.
be, like,
They go to
disgusting.
Paul. Yeah, they go to Paul now.
So so you come and you're Italian, and you're like, what is this Italian food, right?
It was
Pretty bad.
crap at that time. First time I landed, I was at the Hill. The Hill is known as the Italian neighborhood in St. Louis. I had the worst lasagna in my life. But I said, okay, this is the Midwest. I know that in New York I can have my great meal, or in San
right.
Francisco, or in LA. So, but it's changed. It's changed.
So what brought you back from the States back to the?
Well, it's back to work for a winery, because I've been working for an importer. I was commuting most of the time, but anyway, it was one and a half year in the
Wow,
United
look at
States.
this.
And so I came back. I came back to work for a family winery first, my family winery, and then I moved again. And I moved then to the Pico Maccario Winery in 2017. Yeah.
This is a nice plate.
Well, we
of
got a
the
nice
salami
plate, a board of cheese aged in Barbera. So the red skin, it's just a little fermentation and a little aging process in the Barbera skin, Barbera leaves. Then we got a couple of salami. These are real traditional.
Wait a minute, the
salami
Barbera
cotte
skin.
crudo.
Yeah, so wait a minute. You call it charcuterie in French,
Charcuterie.
and you call it
No, it's salumi. Salumi, da salame. Salumi.
so. But what's the Barolo skin? Is it the
And it's
must?
the Barbera.
Barbera skin is the must, or what is it?
It's the must. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pour it. The most important Barbera for us since the early days, 25 years on the road, this bottle, the Lavignone Barbera. Yeah, 25 years has been in the market. Yeah, in the U.S. market.
I was going to say, I don't think 25.
No, it's 2022.
Thanks. This one. But you don't have to go. That's good. Perfect. Thank you so much.
It's the perfect Barbera is the perfect. As the perfect pairing with salums. I mean,
I haven't gotten that far.
Acidity.
acidity, a little bit of acidity that clean your mouth from that side of the salumi.
So is salami protected with the DOP?
It's a DOCG, it's control and guarantee.
Oh, wow.
So it's in the area in Asti, it's the most important appellation.
Right, that's a salami.
That's from skin, you know, from
Looks good.
it's been aged for about
It's not, this is from the
no,
wine.
no, you can eat the skin, but not that. So this is our best seller so far in the United States. Lavignone is the best seller, both channel, I would say, in retail and restaurant and by the glass program. It's 100% Barbera in a stainless steel only. So
Lavignone.
doesn't see any
No
oak
problem.
at all. No oak at all. Just
So Lavignone is the brand name?
Lavignone is the name of the vineyards we have seen before. 150
Oh, right,
contiguous
that's right.
acres of Barbera, turning now 22, 25 years old. So the beauty of Barbera is such a versatile wine. It has the sweetness that is due to the old vines.
So the Barbera, what are you doing? No oak.
No oak here. Yeah.
There's lots of Barbera d'Astis, but is it typically oaked?
Well, Barbera di Asti, it becomes oaked when it's on the superior appellation. So when it's about 6 up to 18 months, and sometimes Reserva with the Nizza DOCG, that is the new appellation, was born in 2014 for the high-end Barbera di Asti.
So superiore
Superior.
is a designation of manufacturing or designation
Of aging.
aging?
Both. I would say both, because the vineyard has to be an old vineyard, has to be positioned south. Those are the old criteria, and minimum aging of 6 months in oak.
Right.
But I always thought Asti meant sparkling.
Right. That's the image in the world that we're still living with. That the Asti image in the world is related to the Asti Spumante, the sweet sparkling, or the Moscato d'Asti, the little brother, flat cork, but still a little bit bubbling, Yes, Asti has been for a long time famous for the Asti Spumante in the world, especially on retail stores, something like that. 25 years ago, let's say that we changed a little bit. We've been trying to change the road into promoting red wines, because we're always been making red wines. We never make any Asti Spumante here, but I know that Asti is still a well-known word that
But what
recall.
does Asti mean?
Asti is the name of a city.
Oh,
Is the main city that gave the name. It's the main city with the biggest province. That is about 22 miles away from here. But
What do you guys think of this fruit? It was
really good.
so clean. It's not adulterated with wood sensation, with oak, vanilla.
Right.
Just getting the grape character.
Yeah, the beauty of a Barbera style like this, because I can say we are leader and pioneer in Barbera di Asti, no doubt. But there's a lot of producer making Barbera style like this, stainless steel, fruity. The beauty is the wine has two faces, two lives, I would say. When it's young, it's fruity, easy drinking. You can also chill down a little bit. Think about today with this incredible heat that is affecting the world. If you chill down a little bit like a white, I would say, it's great in the summertime, your summer patio red. But after 4 or 5 years in the bottle, even less, the fruity side is gonna change. The wine is gonna show you all the balsamic and the spices. That means Mediterranean spices like sage, rosemary. It will become soon, in 2-3 years, it will become a real big red.
That's really interesting.
I'm not saying to be neck to neck with the Barolo, but it will show you all the balsamic side, that of course no more acidity, or anyway very, very well balanced acidity, but a completely different character. So that's why Barbera has a potential. Sometimes it's a little bit confusionary for people. It's Barbera di Asti, Barbera di Alba.
Unpredictable?
But the beauty is this, that it's really a crowd pleaser. It pleases who wants to drink immediately, and is going to please in the future Barolo lovers, or Brunello lovers, or Barbera di Alba lovers, Nebbiolo lovers.
If we go into a wine shop in L.A., you've been there many times. How
Absolutely.
many Barbera d'Astis have oak in them?
How many have oak?
Percentage.
Percentage-wise, I think it's a good 40 with
So
oak
almost half,
and
right?
60 unoaked. Yeah. Because for a simple reason, Barbera price range in the United States, especially in the stores, has to be below 20, between $15 to $20 retail. So there is no way to have a Barbera aged in
too much,
oak for what, 6 months, 12 months for $15? No, there's no way. At minimum has to be $25 to be aged in wood. So that's why it's quite well balanced. I mean, the assortment in the stores. I've seen a lot of Barbera, but I would say 65% is more fruit driven. Boom,
Right.
easy to drink.
Lots of acid.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a
Interesting.
question?
Sure.
So everything here is very so modern.
Yeah.
Have you had pushback from the old school wineries?
Well, yes, that's since the early days, the last generation came on board. We don't have marbles. Have you seen any marbles around? I mean, the winery has been around for many years, but with a different concept. We want to embrace, since we are making red wines like Barolo, like Barbera, we want to embrace the young people, the young drinkers, with modernity. So you see, the pencil bowls. Chapeau to the big producer of Barolo, the old style. Without them, we would not be here. But I want a bottle of Barolo in a 25 years old guy at home on his table, not just the 60, 70 years old. Not only the Germans. The Germans were very important for us here. They were the only one drinking Barolo. Now, with a different approach, different concept, we want to be more sensitive, and we want to welcome also the young drinkers, because the young drinkers are drinking alcohol. They have just to start to drink good alcohol. Just to
You
drink
can't
good
drink White
alcohol.
Claw all your life.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't afford to buy at the end of the day a bottle of Barolo.
That's a good point.
They can't afford, because if they can afford to buy 6 gin tonic, they can afford to buy a good bottle of Barolo. But Barolo sounds old-fashioned, so that's why we've been the first one to put a bottle of Barolo in a pencil, and think about putting a bottle of Cannubi Boscis in a pencil. We're just 20 producer making Cannubi Boscis single vineyard. It was like all kind of old tragedies, but guess what? We were welcome even by the historical producer. You guys are doing something great, something different, because we need that part of the market too. We need young people,
That's an interesting point, because yesterday, your labels are young, they're fresh, you got a pencil box. And yesterday's, clearly, they were so proud of the fact that this was the label of my great-great-great-great-grandfather. We haven't touched it since then, right?
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you just how we can use the white, it's up to you.
The consumerism of wine is changing. Ooh, look at the color.
Yeah, perfect example is
Beautiful.
the next wine we're gonna pour. It's you're welcome. It's a Barolo del Comune di Serralunga. Barolo here, it's say it again.
I'm sorry, which one do you have?
The Barbera,
L'Avignon.
L'Avignone, this one. Yeah,
This one.
That's
this
the
one
one
you
that
can
you
find
have
it.
right now.
Yeah,
That's in Costco?
2022 is in Costco. The 2021. You can find it 2021 vintage, because the 2022 is on the water right now.
Because these people, this group loves Costco, by the way, just so you know.
I don't think so. It's not in Costco yet.
But it's not with that label, because we changed the label last spring.
I like
It's with the
Yeah, Instacart.
it's with the label that you've seen the first one.
I go for
Yes.
That's the old label. That is the
Thank you for going back. I like that.
I mean, you saw Lafitte at Costco. They had a 4-bottle selection of the DRC. It's called. It was $40,000 at Costco. 40. Well, I'm sorry, 39,999.
I'm the owner, right? So our owner. That's how the marketing guy.
So there were two brothers.
Yes.
I'm the marketing guy. Hey,
Pico, was the other brother?
Italiano.
Italiano
Yep.
upset that
But they're
Pico's
sold
name.
out.
No. It sounds better. So
I
I
know it
said
sounds better.
Okay, what was the other brother's name?
Vitaliano.
Oh,
Vitaliano.
Italiano.
We
Too
dedicated.
long.
Yeah. We dedicated a wine to Emil as well.
oh, there you go.
But if you look at there are two wines. We like to play with names too. Look at this. One wine is called Epico, that means epic.
Oh.
The other one is called Vita, that means life
Yeah.
in Italian. But
Oh,
but if you put like this, there are two brothers.
Wow.
Vita, that is the nickname of Vitaliano, and Pico. That's it.
oh,
These are
wow.
the two
This-
single vineyard, red and white.
now you know.
Very clever.
I have a vernacular question that's been haunting me for the last couple of days. I hear the term appellation all
Yeah.
the time, and I think moonshine. Right? There's an appellation.
Appalachian Mountains.
I'm from back there. And I'm like, moonshine. What is that?
Appellation, appellazione in Italiano,
The apps?
appellation in French. It means denomination. It's how would say in English?
It's the government defined area
Exactly.
of wine.
It's the government and the region, of course, definition of exactly. So when you see the word DOCG, DOC in Italy, in France is AOC, there's just different letters. AOC means appellation origine contrôlée. It's a definition of location. That wine can be made only in that area with some specific characters and rules to follow by law. And you are constantly under control by the government and by institutions, by authorities to get what? To get, to prove that you follow all the rules since the harvest and the cultivation, and they will give you this band, the banderole that is numbered, and that prove the quality and all this definition. Yeah.
And the government has to. You can apply for new. Where did we talk about this? But let's say in America, if you live in an area like in Bel Air, there's a winery. If he wants to have that designation, an appellation, he goes to the government and says, hey, there's something about this property I think is different than the rest of my neighborhood and the rest of the state. And here's why. I get more rain, I get less rain, I get more weather influence, I get different soil.
Right.
I want to call it Bel Air.
Right.
And the government says, I don't know if I buy that story. Tell us more, right? It's the same here, and it's the same in France.
Same exact thing. For Barbera has been, for many, many years, has been a very popular wine. It was, back in the 80s, was considered the wine of the farmer. So the reputation was not that good. But then the Barolo came, the big reputation of Piedmont in the world grew up, and Barbera came too. It took 22 years to get the appellation.
Wow.
Since 1999, we started as an association of producers, exactly what Paul said. A group of producers said, hey, we think this is the best area for Barbera grape. At that time, I think there were like 10 or 15 of them. Now we are 260. But then it took from 1999 till 2014,
Wow.
15 years. 15 years to get the appellation.
That's amazing.
15 years. Because the government and the region want to check, control, And it's not simple to give an appellation name. To put the name of a village on a label, it takes forever. Guess what? Today we got the Nizza. Nizza is the name of a city, Nizza Monferrato. I'm sure you just crossed this little town. To get this word, it took 15 years. Because you have to send it to Rome, to the ministry, to prove that, a region name, a village name on a label, it's the best bureaucracy you can find in your life.
But then you got to market this. You've got to prove to the consumer that Nizza means something.
Exactly. And then, because at the beginning it was Barbera d'Asti, Nizza. So the appellation was even longer. It was Barbera di Asti, DOCG, Super Zone Nizza. And so at least people knew that was a Barbera grape. Since 2014, we're allowed to remove the word Barbera d'Asti. Has it happened for Barolo? Barolo used to be Nebbiolo for Barolo on the label back in the old days.
Oh, really? Wow.
Now everybody knows Barolo is Nebbiolo. Barbera, it's a long way, it's a long way. But now we have the right to just write Nizza. And that's what we have to do. Bring you guys here, territory, beautiful experience, hotels, restaurants, spa. We need you guys coming and living wine and food experience, because there's nothing else. It's not Venice here. We don't have canals. We have a lot of church, of course.
Well, the
churches.
Colosseum.
There's no Colosseum. But there's a lot to do, a lot to experience, starting from good food and wine.
So Serralunga
Serralunga di Alba. Yeah.
is
It's a village.
Yeah, small village.
It's a small village next to Barolo, one of the highest, almost 500 meters from sea level, and that's we were talking about this before in the cellar. One of the best seller in the United States today in Barolo are the most austere Barolo. So the cold Barolo, the one with a lot of tannins,
This is not that.
is this one. This is a lot of more tannins than every
Well, I
other
don't get
Barolo.
that
in there.
drying tannin.
No, that's good because it's 2019
Yeah.
now. Is that at the right point that you can drink it? It's ready to drink. You can start to drink now the 19. So, but if you had a chance to taste this one last year,
Yeah.
oof,
Pretty
it
acidic.
was incredible. It was like a knife in your mouth.
He was asking yesterday, what is this feeling in my mouth I'm getting?
Tannin.
It's tannins. That's for you, Greg.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, and this Barolo has been aged for 30 months in a big barrel, the big Austrian barrel you have seen downstairs. No barrique, no French oak, just traditional neutral oak.
So I think you guys can taste that again compared to the Barolos we had yesterday. It's still got a more forward fruitness to it and a
Yeah.
acid structure that's
Absolutely.
fresher than yesterday's.
Absolutely.
Not a steer, it's very
Right, it's not austere at all.
fresh.
Yeah, really good.
Right.
There's something to be said for like atmosphere as for a novice.
Yes.
That atmosphere was like mold and dust.
It was very
And
suffocating,
it just
actually.
smelled like, whereas here it's light and fresh. So
Yeah.
is that affecting the way we're?
Well, for sure.
Your
It's
palate.
for sure. I mean, wine, when it comes to wine, is like, it's like politics. I like to say this, you know. If it's like politics, you know, when you talk with your people, if you're talking in an ugly place or in a not a comfy place, the reaction and the feeling is different. But that could be for the temperature. If we talk about wines, the temperature, the moisture in the air. I mean, a lot of things. The environment is important. We like to have happy environment. That open all the senses. You know, your eyes, color. What else? What else in the world? You know, except the colors bring you joy. Because at the end, if you look at our marketing, we've been working on what? We've been working on with colors. With wood, with colors. Look at our cases, are all different, but all recall a specific wine. So if we're talking about the green, we know that the green is associated to what? To the Gavi white wine. On everything, from the poles in the vineyard, into the label, into the case. If you look at the rosé, it's our rosé. The rosé poles in the vineyards, rosé band on the label.
Plus
So-
your marketing makes us feel more useful.
Yeah, but absolutely, and but very simple. So we have not been working with a company that cost us, thousand euros to get this market.
I would have done for half that.
It's a very simple market. I know a lot of my competitors and colleagues. They're looking at agency for marketing. Spending
Oh,
50 grand, 100 grand, and they came out with nothing. We just
Don't get me
air.
started.
aria fritta, fried. We call it fried air. Nothing.
What a great term.
The
What a-
concept was our owner. As our owner concept, I came out with the idea of having this poles in the vineyard, replacing the old concrete. So we patent them. So we are the only one allowed to put it in the vineyards, but it's not true because you go to Monforte, you can find some of them. But it's good. It brings joy in the vineyards. There's no need to sue them. So from there, the idea of all the colors, the wooden case, the colored wooden case, and then the pencil. But it's a very simple, if you think, a very simple marketing. Very simple marketing, yeah. Very, yeah. Friendly with the environment, friendly with the territory.
I see you use Vacuvin.
Yes, yeah. We opened this bottle, let's say, 17. No, well, better. 17.
3 days ago, 5 days ago.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Let's try this. Let's try the Cannubi Bosques now. Well, here we are in the in the most important hill on earth in wine. First single vineyard ever in the wine world was in Cannubi Barolo in 1754, before any Burgundy, any Burgundian wines. The first on the book, of course, on the books in history, the first single vineyard that it's recognized as a single vineyard was in 1754 by the queen, an Italian queen, in Cannubi. Cannubi is a hill next to Barolo village. You had lunch yesterday. It's one of the most magic places, starting from the soil. The soil, that's why Cannubi. Cannubi means connubio, together. The soil is a mix of two different era. One is the Tortonian era and the other one is the Helvetian era. There we're talking about million years of difference. Long story short, a part of the hill was the top of the mountains and the other side of the hill was the bottom of the ocean. They just came at the same level. But these two areas are still shifting. They're still moving few centimeters every year. So Cannubi Hill is the line of division of the south and the north side of Barolo, where is the point of confluence of an amazing soil where you have sand, clay soil, limestone, conquillage. You got everything there that gives a result that is unique. You don't really need a winemaker to make a good Cannubi. It's just the fruit that is coming out from those vineyards. Extremely light because it's very steep vineyard all over the Cannubi Hill. Very steep, so when it's raining, wash away. So the vines are struggling every day to give the fruit. And then imagine how big is the loss of fruit in that area, because it's a very light vineyard, a very light hill. But then at the end, the result, you have this silky, austere, silky Barolo. Crazy. It's like something in that you cannot produce somewhere else. So I give you a splash of this Cannubi. Otherwise, we're going to open another bottle.
Cannubi. What was the restaurant we went to? Cannubi? Obi-Wan Cannubi, yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. You went to...
It was owned by the.
It's owned by Tenete Caruta.
Sí. I'll get it.
Wow, what a nose.
It's good.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
Because on 3 days, it will be really perfect.
Well, and it's interesting because it's completely different than the Serlunga.
I'm appreciating.
And there is less
medical
oak.
benefits.
The medical benefits, which,
I haven't coughed since I had a sip of wine.
yeah, there you have it. That's commonly known for that, the Cannubi Barolo.
So I need to carry a bottle of wine in my
You might
purse.
have to- I
Okay.
wonder if I can get a
I'm taking
prescription.
notes. It's okay, I got you. I got you.
My $5 motion picture copay.
Low content.
That's perfect.
Oh, Locanda, that's what. That's what.
I don't want to wait.
With Johnny. Johnny was there.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
John, who was the other guy that we were supposed to talk to? Johnny and...
We got our wines there too.
Do you on the list there?
I don't know the name of the guy. to be
Oh.
honest.
Do you guys see the difference between what we tasted yesterday and today?
Yeah. You know what would be interesting? Taste a young one and then taste one that's 5 years old and compare the difference in the aging.
Yes, we can do that.
That would have been a lot more helpful because
But somebody asked the question, like, if you, even though you don't necessarily something chemical in this wine that represents the philosophy in that cellar, but you can clearly understand that when you look at their overall winemaking philosophy and the way they keep their cellar and the way they bottle things, it's reflective in the bottle eventually, right? Because it's all about the philosophy. You hear that, Zob?
I see that.
Yeah.
A lot sanitary. More sanitary.
Sanitary, but they don't have to wash the barrels. There's no mold on the walls,
Right.
right? All that stuff matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how much of that is really related to the age of the cellar and just construction of the cellar?
Well, he said that they keep that cellar at 95% humidity. What does that do? It keeps the oak moist so that it doesn't dry out, because you can't, a barrel will fall apart completely if it's not wet, okay? But those guys had to wash the barrels.
Yeah, they went.
You don't think that affects it? Of course it does. They were literally soaking their bottles once a month.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Judy. go ahead.
They're very.
But at
Oh,
95%
that's-
humidity, why isn't it producing mold? And your
Because there's 95% because you gotta keep the wine the floor clean. I don't know if you heard about when I spoke about the floor is kind of floating. There's an air chamber underneath, and the floor is not connected to the wall, so it's adjusting according to the soil. So there's no risk of mold. Exactly. And then you got to keep your eye open. You know, you got to be there every day to be sure there's no stain of water, stain of wine, because we are doing raking off here and there. So you have to be maniac in a way. You have to be maniac, otherwise bacteria would spread in a minute, would affect the barrel and then affect the other. So that's why it's not
And your
just
wife.
yeah.
My wife's with my six.
does it
You need to wash it off.
Oh yeah, and it affects the barrel.
It will, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Water bath.
So
the
this
moisture
is-
has to be in the air only.
This Barolo is 24 months in oak, 12 months in the glass. Minimum.
Months in- yeah,
Right?
yeah, correct. It's the Cannubi. It's less. Its age almost a year less than the Serralunga di Alba. Think about that.
Really?
It's this is around 20 months. 20 months versus 30 months of the Serralunga.
Wow.
But the Serralunga is so tannic.
So you
know,
must
from
start
day-
out much more
you-
tannic.
Yeah, you gotta be there for way more time.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then that is the 2019,
19.
right? So same vintage.
I mean, colors are different too, totally.
Totally different.
Well, but
has
you know
this-
what? The body's there still. There's still structure there.
Still structure. Yep. Grazie.
So between the two Barolos, which was more
Wow.
interesting to you?
The Cannubi is the winner. It's an easy win. you know. But guess what? This is $40.99 retail in the United States for the Serralunga d'Alba. For Cannubi, you got easily to $180, $170 a bottle. Yeah.
But see your local wine merchant for a 15% discount.
After you marked it up there.
Yeah.
Are these ever, this is never in Costco?
No. That is not in Costco at all. And even the Serralunga, it's not in Costco.
So are you
It's-
balancing this idea of Costco value wines with the exquisite Cannubis just to get the market share, your source of revenue balance between volume and
Well, yeah, with Costco, and I mean they have great wines. It's
They
very
do.
very much into the price quality ratio,
yes.
and
But they seem to have opened up.
opened up. Yep,
To a
even
lot more
high,
thing.
a lot more thing, more high end stuff. Well, it's happening here in Europe. I was in Düsseldorf years ago talking about with the Lidl, Lidl
Yeah.
and Aldi. You guys have an
Aldi,
Aldi in the
yeah.
United States. Buyers, and they said we are at the bottom. We are at the bone right now.
Yes.
It was years ago. They said, "What do you mean? We are at the bone. I mean, we need to increase our quality because it's no longer just price. We need to create quality. We need to add quality to our
Who's saying
soup."
that? Costco?
Aldi and
Aldi?
Lidl.
Oh,
And those are grocery stores.
yeah, that's right.
And that's exactly what happened. Now you can find in Germany at least, but it's growing here in Italy too. Quality sections.
Yes. Oh, good.
You can find some nice Gaia wine at Aldi, at Lidl in Germany. But here they're growing. And guess why not? Even Costco.
Well, but the other day,
gigantic.
Costco had DRC.
DRC.
Four
yeah.
bottles,
Yeah.
$40,000.
There you go.
And then they saw Lafitte in
Yeah.
Marino.
Costco, it's more like it's a cash and carry as well.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's a different concept.
40,000 cash.
Jesus.
Right. Now, this is a different bottle, Joe, for me.
Yes,
So it tastes different.
Completely different. It tastes a-
completely different. I mean, in
This is so
good
well
or not,
balanced, and this one has a little bit of a.
because it's probably it's not. I didn't check it, to be honest.
I thought it was really good.
Well, because it's
Mine are his.
Because
Oh yeah, this has
yours, it was
this
50,
hasn't opened up yet.
50-50. Maybe because it still has to open, you know.
Oh,
Because it's a brand new bottle.
But mine is the.
It's like a dusty.
Taste this right.
It's much more close.
Well, yeah, it's dusty. It's a little bit dusty. You need a little bit of time. I'll speed up the process. Speed up with just dump it in this one.
Oh,
Yeah, because since it's been open
I
for
like that. That's
Put it in a blender.
That's a great glass.
that's a $40 glass.
so this just needs to open up a little bit.
Right, absolutely. That's Barolo. That's why most of our Barolo, when we pour it, we do not crack the bottle and pour it because it's
It's already changed.
super dusty, you know.
So what's your next trip? Where are you headed next?
Where I'm heading next, I'm going to Hungary because as I told you before, we import Tokai from
Yeah.
Italy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because I
Tokai
remember
and Champagne, huh?
Tokai, Champagne, Burgundy, Bordeaux.
Really?
What else? We got some gin from Portugal. Nice.
What?
Taste the gin.
Gin.
I'm like,
do
what?
do you want to taste some gin? Ask me I'll bring a
Greg
bottle.
loves gin.
I'm gonna have
I didn't
some
know
of that.
Portuguese gin. Japanese we've tasted.
Well, this is a specific one is from Madeira Island. So
Madeira.
Madeira Island, yeah.
No, but Madeira, which is, that's an interesting part of the market. I don't see how it works. I don't see Madeira anywhere. I'm
Yep.
a good friend of Bartholomew Broadbent who
Right,
tried to bring
right.
it all back.
Yep.
But who buys Madeira? Maybe the English?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
British people. British.
That's pretty much
British. Pretty much is there, yeah.
Interesting.
And then I'll be back in the fall in
LA?
in California and around some other states, yeah.
So if you're in LA, I didn't quite grasp, since you have Ithaca and Miami, who is handling your wines now
Right.
in Los Angeles,
Absolutely. I will keep you posted on
RNDC
that.
or Southern or Massanois or whoever?
No, Massanois. It was
If you
our
need me-
first importer in the U.S. was Massanois.
Was it really?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
good. They're good.
Yeah, they're been growing dramatically. Yeah.
But if
Very
you
nice.
need me to run flanker,
I will contact
We'll
you.
do it.
We'll send you all the details and I will pop by
yes, so we're going to do that.
to your place.
I'll take
for
you to
sure.
an Italian restaurant.
Grande.
And then call us.
I
We'll
feel
take you to
comfortable.
another one.
I feel.
We'll take you to a good one. Go with him and then go with us.
No, come on. California doesn't have bad Italian ones, right?
And if you go for breakfast, make sure you bring cash. They don't take credit cards.
That's
nice.
right, where we
Okay.
go. This has been fascinating conversation, an opportunity to stay with you.
Grazie.
When I say the word fascinating, I'm supposed to do was it fascinanto?
Fascinante. Affascinante. Fascinated. Yeah. It's been great to have you, to have a little bit of California here. You're always welcome. Come back with your family. Come back with more time. Come back in the same period because it's one of the best periods.
beautiful.
Don't come in the summertime. Don't come in September too much. Come in the truffle period. Come in November, October. Pop by, land in Milan, a few days here, and then hit some of the Majesty city in Italy. But why not stop and have a good glass of wine and some good food?
You bet. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Grazie mille.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you so much.